What's up, Chargers Nation? Victor here, and man, this offseason is already heating up. Let me ask you something right off the bat. Are the Chargers really one move away from fixing the biggest problem holding Justin Herbert back? And why, after another brutal playoff loss, are people already throwing around Justin Herbert trade rumors like it's even realistic? Because today, we're connecting two massive stories that could define the future of this franchise. On one side, we've got the Chargers predicted to go all in on a major offensive line free agent, a move that could finally give Justin Herbert the protection he deserves. ESPN analysts are already pointing to Isaac Sumalo, one of the best pass-blocking guards in the entire NFL, as a top target. We're talking about a guy who ranks second among all guards with a 96.9% pass block win rate, Super Bowl experience, Pro Bowl level play, and real leadership in the trenches. And on the other side, we've got people seriously floating the idea of trading Justin Herbert after that ugly 16-3 playoff loss to the Patriots. Let that sink in. Justin Herbert, who just threw for 3,700 plus yards, 26 touchdowns, completed 66.4% of his passes, and is under contract through 2029, suddenly being linked to a blockbuster trade to the New York Jets with 3 first-round picks on the table? As a Chargers fan, I've got strong feelings about this. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to talk about. How much of Herbert's playoff struggles are really on him, and how much is on the offensive line failing him when it matters most? When your interior line ranks near the bottom of the league, when your center grades as one of the worst in pass protection, when pressure collapses the pocket instantly, even elite quarterbacks look human. So today, we're breaking it all down. Why fixing the offensive line is the real priority, why Isaac Sumalo could be a franchise-altering signing, and why trading Justin Herbert would be organizational malpractice. But before we dive into it, do me a favor. Smash that like button if you bleed powder blue. Subscribe to Chargers Nation if you're tired of lazy takes and want real fan-driven analysis. And help us hit our goal of 3,000 subscribers. We're building something special here. Now let's get into it, because this offseason could decide everything for the Los Angeles Chargers. How many times last season did you hold your breath every time Justin Herbert dropped back to pass? Exactly. Because no matter how talented your quarterback is, if the offensive line doesn't hold up, nothing else matters. And today, there's a major prediction out there that could completely change the future of this offense. A move that could finally fix the biggest problem holding the Chargers back. So stay with me, because this one is big. And real quick, if you love Chargers content made by a fan for fans, smash that like, subscribe, and help us hit our goal of 3,000 subscribers. Chargers Nation is growing, and you're part of it. Let's be honest, this offseason has to be about the offensive line. Yes, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater are expected to come back healthy, and that's huge. Those two alone give us one of the best tackle duos in the NFL when healthy. But the real issue? The interior of the offensive line. And the numbers don't lie. According to ESPN insider Chris Rim, center Bradley Bozeman ranked 31st in pass block win rate, 18th in run block win rate. That's near the bottom of the league at one of the most important positions on the field. And then there's Mekhi Becton in right guard, a signing that never really worked out. He struggled, and he even publicly expressed frustration with how the team handled his role. So when you look at this line, you see strong tackles, weak interior, and a quarterback taking more hits than he should. That's not how you protect a franchise QB. Now here's where things get interesting. ESPN analyst Aaron Schatz dropped a bold prediction. The Chargers will blow their free agency budget on Steelers guard Isaac Seumalo. And honestly, I don't hate it at all. Let's talk facts. Isaac Seumalo ranked second among all NFL guards in pass block win rate, 96.9% pass block win rate this season, made the Pro Bowl in 2024, has started 61 games since 2022, Super Bowl champion with the Eagles, 3 solid seasons with the Steelers. Yes, he's going to be 33 next season, but guess what? He's still playing elite football. This isn't a guy hanging on. This is a veteran who shows up every single week and plays at a high level. This move makes sense on multiple levels. First, Justin Herbert protection. Seumalo immediately upgrades pass protection inside, which is where Herbert faces the most pressure. Second, run game stability. A strong interior helps open lanes and keeps defenses honest. Third, leadership. This offensive line desperately needs a veteran presence, someone who's been in big games, playoff runs, Super Bowls. And there's also the human side of this. Seumalo is from Hawaii. After spending nearly a decade in Pennsylvania between Philly and Pittsburgh, a move to Los Angeles brings him closer to home. Sometimes that matters more than people think. Now, let's be real. If the Chargers blow their free agency budget on Seumalo, that means less money elsewhere, higher expectations, no room for mistakes. But ask yourself this, what's more important than protecting Justin Herbert? You don't need flashy signings if your QB is on the ground. Great teams are built from the inside out, and the Chargers have ignored that for too long. Now I want to hear from you, Chargers Nation. Would you sign Isaac Seumalo? Is he the missing piece on the offensive line? Or would you rather go younger and cheaper? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. All right, Chargers Nation. Now here's where everything connects, and this is the part a lot of people are completely missing. We've spent all this time talking about the offensive line, about how adding a guy like Isaac Seumalo could finally stabilize the interior, keep the pocket clean, and give this offense a real foundation. Because football starts in the trenches. Always has, always will. But now let me flip the script for a second. Because while we're talking about protecting Justin Herbert, while we're talking about investing in the line so he doesn't have to play hero ball every snap, the national media is already asking a wild question. What if the Chargers trade Justin Herbert? And that's when you realize just how disconnected these conversations are. Instead of asking why Herbert was under constant pressure in the playoffs, instead of asking why this offense couldn't sustain drives when it mattered most, instead of asking why the protection broke down yet again in January, people are questioning the quarterback. So now we go from how do we finally protect Justin Herbert to should the Chargers move on from Justin Herbert? And trust me, that second conversation should never exist unless the first one has already been solved. Because before you even think about trade rumors, before you entertain 3 first-round picks, before you listen to Jets fans dreaming on social media, you have to look at what Herbert was working with when the lights were brightest. And that takes us straight into the next story, the playoff loss, the criticism, the rumors, and why, as Chargers fans, we need to push back hard on this narrative. Let's talk about Justin Herbert. After that brutal playoff loss, after another January disappointment, people are seriously asking if the Chargers should trade Justin Herbert. Yeah, you heard that right. Trade Justin Herbert. So stay with me because we're breaking down the rumors, the stats, the blame, and why this conversation even exists in the first place. And real quick, if you bleed powder blue like I do, smash that like, subscribe, and help us reach our goal of 3,000 subscribers. This channel is built by Chargers fans for Chargers fans. Let's not sugarcoat it. That playoff loss to the Patriots was ugly. Final score, 16-3. Justin Herbert finished 19 of 31, 159 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, no rhythm, no explosive plays, no points when it mattered most. And Herbert didn't hide from it. He straight up said, "Quarterback play wasn't good enough. I didn't play well enough. And when it mattered most, we didn't score any points." That's accountability. That's leadership. But also, that's painful to hear because this keeps happening in January. Now let's slow this down for a second, Chargers Nation, because the internet loves hot takes. During the 2025 regular season, Justin Herbert completed 66.4% of his passes, threw for 3,727 yards, 26 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That's a productive season. That's a quarterback who keeps this team competitive every single year. And let's be honest, without Herbert, this roster is not sniffing the playoffs. So the question isn't, is Justin Herbert good? The question is, why does everything fall apart in the playoffs? Now here's the uncomfortable conversation. Is this on Justin Herbert, or is this on Greg Roman and the offensive system? Because what did we see in that playoff game? Conservative play calling, no tempo, no creativity, no adjustments. Herbert thrives when he's pushing the ball downfield, he's allowed to read and react, he's not playing scared football. But in January, this offense feels tight, predictable, and limited. And when defenses know what's coming, even elite quarterbacks struggle. Now let's talk about the rumor that set social media on fire. According to Polymarket Football, there's speculation about a blockbuster trade sending Justin Herbert to the New York Jets. The reported return? 3 first-round picks, including the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft. And yes, the Jets are one of the few teams that could actually afford it. 5 first-round picks over the next 2 drafts, desperate for a franchise quarterback, built to win now. From the Jets' perspective, it makes sense. From the Chargers' perspective, let me be very clear, Chargers Nation. Trading Justin Herbert would be organizational malpractice. He's under contract through 2029. His 2026 cap hit is $46.3 million. Yeah, that's big, but that's the price of a franchise QB. You don't trade elite quarterbacks because the playoffs didn't go your way, the system failed, or the roster wasn't good enough. You fix the situation around him. Because once you trade a quarterback like Herbert, you're in QB purgatory for the next decade. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Justin Herbert doesn't need to be traded. He needs help, better offensive line play, a system that fits his strengths, coaches who trust him in big moments. Yes, Herbert needs to be better in the playoffs. That's fair criticism. But this idea that his January struggles erase everything else, that's lazy analysis. Now, I want to hear from you, Chargers Nation. Is the blame more on Herbert or the coaching staff? Do playoff struggles change how you view him? And be honest, would you ever consider trading him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to Chargers Nation, help us hit 3,000 subscribers. I'm Victor, still riding with Justin Herbert, still believing in this team. Bolt up.